my name's Avery. I'm 23 years old, and today we're going to be making orange cranberry shortbread cookies. They're my grandfather's absolute favorite, whether during the holiday season or in the summertime. Here we go. Okay, to start off with, you're going to need your ingredients. You're going to need 2 1/4 cup of flour. You're going to need a half a teaspoon of salt. You're going to need 16 tablespoons of butter softened. You can do room temp, or you can just put it in the microwave like I do. You need 3 1/4 cups of sugar, half a cup of powdered sugar, 2 large egg yolks, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then for the flavoring, you need half a cup of dried cranberries chopped up finely. You can use a food processor or just cut it up by hand. And then 1 tablespoon of orange zest. And you can usually get that from 2 to 3 oranges, depending on the size. At the end, when you're done making your cookie, you can add extra orange zest on top of your cookie if you feel like it, or extra sugar, which I like to add the extra sugar. First, you're going to start off with your 2 1/4 cups of flour. And then you're going to mix in a half a teaspoon of salt. Once you get those 2 ingredients in a bowl together, you're going to whisk them together and set them aside. Okay, for our next step, we're going to cream together the butter, both of our sugars, and our orange zest. I like to do this with my KitchenAid mixer I have here at home, but if you have a bowl and a hand mixer, that'll work just as well. So to start off, let's add in the butter, and remember that's softened. And then we're gonna add in both of our sugars. So first the powdered sugar. And don't be afraid to get a little messy, you know it's cooking here. And then we'll add in the regular sugar. Set your spatula there. Then you're gonna wanna finish orange zesting your orange. So you have your zester, you have your orange, you take it really lightly and just go really soft, and you can tap it off. Try to avoid zesting your finger. I've definitely done that a couple of times. It's not fun and it hurts really bad. But just take it really slow, and once you get all the zest in that you need, you're gonna take your tablespoon of orange zest and you're gonna throw it in on top. And if you're like me, I like to add a little extra orange zest, so there's a little more orangey flavor in our final result. So after that, you're gonna start your mixer, and I say probably mix it for about a minute to a minute and a half, depending on how well your mixer is or how fast the speeds go, that kind of stuff. For me, I'll probably leave it on for about a minute and we'll check and see how it goes. After you've creamed together all of those ingredients, you're gonna put in your 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then you are gonna add in 2 egg yolks. So there's a lot of different ways that people like to do their egg yolks. I like to use the outer shell to kind of cradle it. You can also put it in a bowl and try and use a water bottle to soak up the egg yolk and put it in. Either way, whatever your preference is, just kind of do what you're comfortable with. So for me, kind of just take it really lightly and kind of put it back and forth so that the white falls out. See, just like that. Then you're gonna dump that in. Do the next thing with the next egg. Kind of just let that egg white fall out so you're left with an egg yolk. And then continue to cream the rest of your ingredients together. Okay, so now you're going to take the mixed ingredients that you did at the very beginning, that flour and sugar, and you're going to dump it into your bowl. and you're gonna kind of slowly dump it in, and then mix it a little bit, and then slowly dump it in a little more, and then mix again. Just so you can get that nice dough texture in. Alright, now that this is mixing together, you're going to take those cranberries that you had. Remember, you have to chop them up finely, food processor, by hand, either way. I chop mine up by hand today. And then you're going to slowly add these in. Until it's all mixed throughout. And then you'll have your dough. Okay, now that we have our dough together, you're going to want to get 2 pieces of parchment paper about this big, because you're going to split your dough in half. Now, 1/2 will go on one parchment paper, 1/2 will go on the other. This still makes the same amount of cookies. So this is what your end result will look like. But I'm going to scoop the dough out that we have left and get it onto our parchment paper. And then this is the part where I was talking about. Don't be afraid to get dirty while cooking. You're going to fold the dough into a long log. The point of this is to try and get this cookie dough as long as possible while still also making sure that the dough is thick enough for a cookie. So once you get this about centered out, you're going to take your parchment paper and wrap it over, and then you're going to roll it up. So once you have that done, you can kind of like massage it out, try to make it like your cookie circular. My cookies never turn out circular. They're mostly rectangle, but you know what? They still taste great, so that's the biggest part of this. So once you get it all rolled up, you can roll the sides in, you can fold them in, and then you'll put them in the freezer, or freezer for about 30 minutes, or the fridge for about 2 hours, depending on how long you have until you need to bake your cookies. Now that you've let your dough set up and get a little more firm so you can make those cookies, we're gonna unwrap your parchment paper, and you're gonna set up your dough in the middle. You're gonna take a serrated knife like this, and you're gonna cut it about 1/3 of an inch thick, kind of depending on how you want your cookie to be. If you want a thinner cookie, you can cut it a little closer. If you want a thicker cookie, you can cut it a little wider. So for me, I kind of like an in-between, so I'll keep the 1/3 inch. So you just cut down, and you know, at the end you'll have a couple cookies that look like this because they're not perfect, they're not in the middle. And then you can just kind of form them to how they should be. But then you just kind of keep going and cut in your cookie. And once you've gone through and cut all of the cookies out from your log, you're gonna take your cookies and you're gonna have sugar, and you're gonna dip it on one side, dip it on the other until it's covered, and then you're gonna set it in on a non-stick pan. So this is just getting it ready to put in the oven. Now, when you get ready for the oven, you want to preheat it to 325, and then from there, you're gonna put it in on this middle rack of your oven and cook it for about 13 minutes. Now, if you want a crispier cookie, if you like your shortbread really crunchy, you'll probably cook it closer to 14 minutes. If you like more of a soft cookie, you'll probably cook it closer to 12 and a half minutes. But it kind of just depends on you and your preference, if you want a soft or a hard cookie, either way. All right, now that we have our finished product, it's time to enjoy it. I really hope you guys love this recipe as much as my grandpa and I enjoy it.